Yo, what is up, everybody? So in terms of videos that we have posted on the Heat channel, I think this one today might be the most beneficial one that we have ever uploaded. So I'd bet right now that as a producer, you never have thought about like planning out your sales, planning out your content, or anything marketing related in terms of a plan. And even if you have tried, you probably felt overwhelmed and not really sure what exactly to do. And so in today's video, we are gonna make it way more simpler for you because we are breaking down one of the most powerful tools that we use to help producers stay consistent, scale up their beat selling business, and overall find success month after month. And we do that with what we call the client calendar system. And so this is the exact framework that we have used and continue to use to plan sales and also plan launches like a pro, keep marketing consistent month after month, and most importantly, create predictable, scalable growth for every producer that we work with in terms of our agency clients. And so recently, a few weeks ago, during a live workshop in the HEATE Academy, we walked through every step of the system, and the response from the Academy members was incredible. I can tell you for so many producers, this was finally the moment when the dots connected between what their goals were and what their daily actions should be. So if you're ready to level up your consistency, organize your marketing and plan your marketing, and most importantly, grow your business, whether selling beats or selling kits, you're gonna wanna stick around for this one. So let's go ahead and dive in.
In this lab event, essentially, we're gonna go over pretty much what we do for the guys who are selling beats and selling kits, and like we call it like a marketing blueprint. And so the whole point of this calendar is so that way I'm going to do a calendar at the end of the event for Q1. And then it's just about, kind of you guys see what's going on. You understand the four main pillars, technically five, if you count them all, 5 pillars, 4 pillars, whatever. And then you guys can take that away for yourselves and kind of, do what you want to do with it. So we're going to start off with basically like an intro. So before we get into the flywheel breakdown and like the monthly campaigns, this is basically the why. Because, the biggest thing with everything we've done in the agency is like, okay, we give templates and everything, and that's cool. But if you don't really understand what the template's supposed to do, you don't really fully utilize everything within your business. So at the core of everything is momentum. And momentum comes down to consistency. So the more consistently you show up, post content, engage your audience, run intentional campaigns, the stronger your sales results are going to be. Consistency doesn't happen by accident, though. That's what I think a lot of producers kind of struggle with, is they have inconsistent results because they have inconsistent actions. Like they don't have a social strategy or a marketing strategy, right? So it all requires the planning, the structure, the clarity. And so that's why we operate on the 4-week/monthly calendar. And even for clients, it's already mapped out pretty much the first 6-9 months, pretty much the whole year. Like for Kavi, his whole years is pretty much mapped out. Not everything is set in stone, but like the whole year overview is pretty much there. Obviously, some things will change, but that's just how we operate. And so why this works so well is because there's 2 sides to every strategy. So you have your organic marketing. And so this is usually on the client's end in terms of our workflow. And the thing about this is like, you have to do this stuff. And so even with ourselves promoting Heat with the community, like we still have to post the content. We have to make YouTube videos. We have to make Instagram posts. We have to build hype. We have to be able to drive traffic to a sales page. And so that's what the client has to do. So this is split. But in this case, it's on you to do both ends. And so the second thing is the sales campaign. And so that's where you're creating offers, you're running promos, and the whole thing is to generate conversions, whether that be leads or sales. And so essentially both sides of this need to be working, because if one side slows down, then the momentum stops. Of where your organic content is going to bring people in, or paid traffic as well, if you're doing paid, if you want to go that route, right? Basically, you can make the best offer in the world, but if you can only get 50 people to a page for that offer, like if you're running a week-long offer or something, and you can only get 50 people to it, like you can't expect to make more than 1 or 3 sales to that. It's just not possible. Like the numbers are just not in your favor for how e-commerce data works there. So that's kind of the big thing, is everybody always mentions like, oh, I want predictable, I want consistent, I want reliable, I want to scale. Well, it comes down to being consistent in terms of your organic marketing or paid marketing or how you're driving traffic, as well as making sure that you're having consistent action in terms of the actual marketing side of that. So that's why we do this, is because one, you like thinking about it not just in terms of like there's a client and us, but thinking about it as like this is your own business. There's two sides to your business because, like I said, we do it for clients, but we also have to do it for ourselves. So here's the thing, like time is not fucking unlimited, especially people have other jobs, kids, life in general. And so if you plan out this stuff a month ahead, then you can sit down and you can make the content. You can write the emails for something upcoming in 2 weeks. And so it's just about being like on your P's and Q's and just kind of having everything put together. So that way you're actually like having tasks and a timeline that you work towards. So it's just a really big thing of like, just be consistent and actually knowing what you're being consistent at. And like I said, it's just consistent action equals consistent results, of where a lot of creators, producers operating on like the feast or famine cycle, where they'll post a lot when they feel inspired or motivated or have something to sell, but then they go quiet when they don't. This was a big issue that we had last year ourselves with pushing the academy itself, is we got so caught up in doing the client work. A lot of the time, nor effort or attention was really put into marketing the academy. And then we would have like a sales campaign. And so of course, all the focus would shift back on to like, hey, let's do an email campaign. But the thing is we weren't engaging with our email list up to that point. Like we were totally not doing what we were saying to do, because we couldn't cover both aspects of it. And so the thing is, your audience forgets you, you lose momentum, and sales become unpredictable. And so when you focus on actually building that stuff up and having an idea of what you want to do, consistent action is going to equal consistent results. So that's kind of the why of everything. Does that make sense to everybody? I'll just start there before I move to the next section. So that way you're not just like, what the fuck is he talking about? I think you guys will get it. But I just really want to kind of like bring that home, because that's like the main gist of this calendar and why we're doing this event today. Because consistent action equals consistent results. If there's one thing I can like put into your head, it would be that. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. I figured this would be, it's a simple one. Just want to make sure nobody fell asleep, right? It's like, damn. Okay. So now let's go into the flywheel of sales and growth, how it all works together. And also we'll probably do a Q&A before I build the calendar. So if you have questions, drop them in and then we'll come back to them later on. So why we think of like flywheel. So you want to think of your marketing strategies like one big flywheel, where each action you take is building momentum and is fueling the next step. And so like the more you keep your wheel turning, the stronger your results become over time. And it's like the consistent action you have is going to compoundingly grow more and more for you. So step number one is you post on social media to drive sales and grow your email list. And so once again, I kind of want to run through each thing that is going on in this flywheel. So then when we build the calendar, you understand why I'm building it a certain way or why we're using certain aspects of things. And it's easier for you to then build your own calendar as well, because you understand what's going on. So if you want to do anything online, not sell beats, not sell kits, anything, you want to do anything online, you need to have some sort of online presence or else it's not going to work. So essentially every post, every story, every YouTube video you promote is an opportunity for either sales or offers to drive traffic to your email list or website, to grow your audience and reach more potential buyers, right? So that's a really, really big thing. And the main part of that is you're using social media is you, as a creator more so, you want to build up your social media, but you also want to utilize it with like stories and certain posts to have clear call to actions. So a really good example is, let me pull it up my phone right now. On the Heat Instagram, we're doing a lead gen week right now. And I just posted a lead magnet for the calendar itself, right? So we've done posts all throughout the past like 2 weeks now that really didn't have like a clear, crazy call to action or sales offer. We did the Academy sale last week. But now we're doing a lead gen today. And so we're trying to build content to get more viewers, get more followers, and then we're sprinkling in those offers every once in a while on our story, on our posts, to then use the viewership and engagement we have to then get people to go on to our email list or take a certain action on the website. So this is all like pretty fundamental stuff, but I think it's good to be reminded just more so about like there's not some sort of complex hacking algorithm shit going on here. It's just like post to get views, post engaging content, and then make sure you take time to take your viewers and your followers and get them to go to your email list and sign up there or your website. And then step number 2 is focus on doing most of the hard selling to your email list or your most engaged fans, as you could say. So like if someone joins your email list, they're interested in something you've given for free. They might be a previous customer. And so I would say your email list is going to be mostly like, this is the most powerful tool you have for driving sales. And I say that on the basis of that if you asked anybody that we work with on an agency basis, if you ask them, hey, would you rather, you want to do a big launch in March, whatever. You can only either use your email list to push people to the page, or you can only post on social media. I guarantee you all of them would say email list because that is where most of like you can do the segmented emails. You can do, there's so much more that email gives you, and the intention is usually better of converting somebody into a purchase. And so, like I said, there's direct communication of your open rate is probably going to be consistent in that sense. So it's not like you're going to have an algorithm kind of fuck you over with low engagement. The high conversion rates, especially if you have like your customers on there, they're going to be a higher conversion rate. Personalized offers. So you can go ahead and use segmented emails to kind of write more personalized emails to that person. And once again, like this is where you're going to be doing product drops. You're going to run flash sales. You're going to share offers. And then also you can build relationships through valuable content as well. And so like a big reminder here that I would say is your email list is where the majority of your sales are going to come on or come from. So don't sleep on this. And then it kind of goes back of where you then use sales to, you can reinvest it back into social media growth of where, you know, every sale you make isn't a profit because you can use this to maybe do ads, content creation tools, get a camera, get an editor, do something, run ads for like a lead gen giveaway to get more leads to your email list now. And so it's like the flywheel is now beginning of where your email list can only grow as fast as your social media can grow, right? Like that's the thing. In order for somebody to go to a website page that you have for like a lead gen item, a free thing, you have to post that somewhere online to drive people to that page. And so you're not going to have somebody start off with a new Instagram account and have 10 followers and 50 views and get 5,000 emails. It's just not possible, right? That's like your social media is blocking the growth of your email list. So that's another big thing there. And then why I would say this is better than a sales funnel. So I think like, I'm not saying a sales funnel is wrong or doesn't work anymore. It's just, I like using this analogy better of where, yes, you move people from social media to your email list to a customer or whatever. But it's just like, I like the flywheel better because every step is building onto another one. And so like what I mean by that is you post on socials, drive traffic to an offer or your email list with a lead magnet. Grow your email list, you sell through the email list. Use the sales revenue to then reinvest into whatever you want. and then just repeat. And then you build momentum and you scale over time of where now you're getting more views on social media. You're getting more emails to join your email list, right? And it's just like a really good example of this is when you have someone like a Kavi of where best example possible, possible of where the dude's just been posting YouTube content every week for like the past 2 years now. And so it's just that growth is compounding. And so his Instagram grows from his YouTube, right? His Instagram grows because he posts organic on Instagram as well. And it's just the thing of like now when he wants to drop like a beta pack or something for something, he now has a YouTube channel. He has an email list he can send people to and then use that to then build up the email list. And so it's just over time, that's something that just grows with more and more consistent action. And so then the final tip is just momentum. Once again, the more consistent you are with your actions, the more consistent your results are going to be. And it's really all about staying top of mind all year long and trying to build those micro relationships that convert into long-term sales. So once again, that isn't like, I would say, crazy, insane marketing advice, but that's more so the thought process on why we do the calendars, like how we do them. So does everybody, we all on board there of just kind of the backbone of psychologically, not really psychologically, but just like the understanding of how that works. Just put a 1 in the chat if you get it. 1. Hell yeah. Sick. So yeah, I would say it's not like groundbreaking social media marketing expert advice, but it's just like reminding the fundamentals as to how it works. And so then we get into what that actually looks like then in terms of actions. So we focus on what I call the 4 core pillars plus a bonus campaign for kit sellers. And so this is all about driving consistent sales, growing the audience, and then building more and more momentum. So what we usually do on a per month basis is the first one is a weekend offer. So this is just something where we do like a little bit to drive quick revenue, or another big thing here too is just to drive more website traffic. And so what's a lot of people don't think about, but like when you see it happen on a bigger scale for some of these guys is, let's say they do like a new drop of a kit. So this is a really good one. For like a new kit drop, we'll drop it on Friday. And then for the weekend, there'll be some sort of bonus. So obviously all the attention goes to that. But since it's a new flashy item sale thing, people just go to the site in general. So someone may click around and buy another product. And so it's just like they went to the website though, because there was that activity going on. Even if they didn't buy that certain thing, they might go to the website. And that also might trigger, based on the actions they had, an email marketing automation to trigger as well. And so it's just, long story short, one, we're giving them a weekend offer, so there's urgency and everything. But also we're just driving traffic back to the website. And there's like a reason to go back to the website. So that's a big thing. So this could be, if you're selling beats, hey, I just uploaded 5 new beats, use code BEAT20 to get 20% off until Sunday. Or just upload a new kit, get 20% off plus a $10 gift card if you purchase before Monday morning. So this isn't like a crazy week-long sales campaign or anything. It's just like a short-term promo of either like a handful of new beats you just put on the store or a new kit that was dropped as well. And we also do this on Fridays because Friday is a payday for most people. And also I say weekend shopping behavior of just more people usually have weekends off versus a weekday. Obviously not everybody, but just kind of helps. The second thing is usually every month you can find some sort of like major sales campaign. So this weekend offer, this is just something of where you're excluding a discount to a certain item, maybe like a certain collection of products, versus a seasonal sale, a flash sale, or something like that. This is going to be site wide, store wide. So it ties into seasonal themes or holidays. So, like a summer sale, Valentine's Day soon coming up, Black Friday, or flash sale opportunities. Like 808 Day is a big day, August 8th. And so it's just creating relevance and excitement based on the time of the year. So, like summer heat sale, 40% off everything for 7 days, or a Halloween weekend special, get 60% off for this weekend only. And so there's been tons of studies shown that essentially like a seasonal sale, it makes sense to someone. That's why a lot of the sales campaigns you'll see from a lot of companies, they do a summer sale. It's just seasonal. And so we try to work that in once a month. And so this is just a good way to basically, once again, get site activity and offer a discount to people. And that can kind of come in different ways. It depends on really where you are in the time of the year. Like for January, for most clients, we didn't do anything because we just did a Black Friday and a Christmas sale. And so there's really no reason to do like a New Year sale because we just went really hard on like an end of year sale. And so you could have done it, but it just didn't really make sense. And then number 3 is we try to then balance that with a 1-week lead gen campaign. So this is a 7-day campaign that's solely focused on growing the email list. Because remember, like the 2 things I just showed you there are geared. You're going to do social posts, but you're also going to go probably harder on the email marketing side of things. And so we need to build up our email list to have people to email those offers, right? And so this is very simple of where you could offer something like a beat pack, like 3 new beats this week, go get them. Like I went through my hard drive and found 5 beats I forgot to upload. So I put them in a Dropbox for free, or a discount code of like, hey, get a free MP3 lease. I took my MP3 lease, usually costs $50. Here's a code for $50 off. You can get MP3 lease for free, something like that, or some sort of like exclusive content, depending on how much you're putting into your content. If you're someone who's like selling kits and you make YouTube videos, there's a really opportunity for you to make exclusive content or something like that. So yeah, growing the email list, key to long-term success. And also, if you have more and more emails that you can email, odds are your offers are going to do better. Because if you have an email list of 500 people versus 50,000, and if they're both high quality lists, the 50,000 is going to win because it's 10 times bigger. Then we have our weekly email campaigns. So this is where we focus nothing on like sales. It's just consistent activity. And I would say this is really important because we're trying to focus more on like the story of a product, maybe giving value with showing content. Like I said, if you're someone who uploads YouTube content about selling kits or not selling kits, but you sell kits and you upload like YouTube tutorials, it could be like pushing your latest tutorial or even pushing an older video of like, hey, I think this video was really, really slept on, but it has some of my favorite production techniques in it. Go watch it. And so it's stuff like that. Or it can be like, hey, I uploaded some new beats the past week. Or, hey, I haven't uploaded any new beats the past week. I've been really busy. So here's some of my favorites from last year. There's tons of angles you can spin stuff. But the main goal of these is just not to be salesy. It's just to get people back to the website or back engaging with you. At like the very least, just remember you exist as a person. And the second layer is, if you have a reason for them to go on the website, go for it. But if you're really, really struggling and you just want to push like some content, that works as well. And like I said, it's just about staying top of mind. And then number 5, this is for selling kits only. This is when we do like a weekend repackaged offer. So what we'll do is we'll take 3, 4, or 5 kits maybe. And we'll call this, here's an example right here. So what I'll do in this fake pack is I'll call it Kabi's favorites, Kabi's 2024 favorites. And I'll just like, the messaging is like, hey, Kabi went through and selected 3 of his favorite kits from last year, and we put them on a bundle For this weekend only, it usually costs $120, but for this weekend only, you can get it for 27. Go crazy, yada, yada, yada. And so you're just finding you're finding new ways to repurpose older things. And it's not going to be like an insane revenue driver. If you have a big email list and a big social list, yeah, that works. Like he'll post stories about it. We'll do the emails about it and stuff like that. They make a post about it. Cool. Make a YouTube video about it if we want to. Great. This isn't going to be something that goes like crazy because there's not a lot of hype to build up to it. It's usually just like it kind of comes out of nowhere to the audience of just like, hey, it's a Friday. Here's this thing that we did. It's not like there's a wait list with a hype period for it. So it's not going to be like a major revenue driver, but you're going to give somebody an offer they can either say yes or no to. And like I said, it's going to get people back to the site. And so even if they don't buy this, they may go to the site and look at another product. They may buy another product. Maybe they add something to cart, but they don't purchase. Cool. Now we have automation set up for when someone adds something to cart to try and convert that person. And so you're just having more consistent activity there. So, okay. So that was a good amount of stuff there that we had. Do we have any questions so far? Are we going to have access to this Notion page? Yeah, I can definitely put this here. This was going to be for the presentation. But we can definitely give access to this. So does it make sense to disable the bulk sales stuff in the Beat Store and just use that to run more sales? We usually keep the bulk deals on during a sale. It's just a better offer. You can try and experiment with it if you want to turn them off. But we recommend it. So without my email list, I'm dead in the water. I'm not gonna say you're dead in the water, but it definitely is like a main thing that we leverage because one, it's a lot more easier to track clicks and everything. And then also more consistent in terms of like open rates. And I mean, yeah, it's going to be always best to have an email list. But that's kind of the thing about it is like, you have to grow this stuff. And that's kind of the part of business. Like you have to go hard on socials to get viewership and then get people to join your email list. Have you seen conversion happens from free downloads with your clients? So if you're struggling to see that, you want to focus more on setting up maybe some sort of survey when somebody does do a free download to see why they're even free downloading a beat in the first place. Because if it's like a 14-year-old fucking around with SoundCloud, it doesn't matter what offer you give that person. They're not serious about it. I was thinking about making a meta ad of a post carousel, like 4 to 5 beat previews with learn more to click. Would that help promote my page and get people to the email list? Yeah, I mean, it would help promote your page, yeah, because you're running ads to it. It's not necessarily going to grow your email list because there's no call to action to grow the email list. Now, if it was like, hey, here's 4 to 5 beats you can get for free, sign up to my email list, then yeah, that can grow your email list. But if you're just sending them to the website with no real call to action to join the email list, some people might do it, but you'd want to have a more like call to action of like, get these 4 to 5 beats for free. And then you go to a page where it's very evident that like the headline is like, hey, like put your email below to get these 4 or 5 beats for free. I currently don't do free downloads. So right now my email list is smaller, but they are all buyers over the years. So I was wondering, have you seen conversions? I would say the number one guy that we've seen do really well would be for Mantra. And I think that's, dude, the biggest thing is just like his beats are fucking amazing. And so I think people really just like on the client side, like we've internally had talks of with guys who are selling beats, we've gotten a lot more selective with who we're taking on beat selling wise, because if they're just making like the average trap beat, there's not really like anything crazy that stands out production wise. But the guys who we've always had the best success with have crazy production. When you do the free beat thing, is that just the tag beat and then you clarify they have to get the license to use it, or is it legit free beats? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be tagged and like non-profit use. But if you want to give them a legit free beat, you could. It's up to you, really. What was the advice about free download email list? I think I lost it. Cyclop, can you be more specific? I'm not sure. What kind of content have you seen work? Content wise, there's really not much we can share, just to be honest, because we don't handle much with the content, because the clients themselves are doing all of the content. So we don't handle much of the content side of things. We post on our YouTube, we do our Instagram reels, but with being very niche, it's kind of hindering. So really the best thing I would do is go and revisit. We have a short form masterclass on here as well. And I would recommend revisiting that. And it's just about looking around in the space and seeing what's working really well for others as well and kind of adapting that. How big of a role does brand voice and personality play in making content that converts to an email list? So I wouldn't say, it's kind of a weird question of where if you want to get someone on your email list, it's much more about having an offer to get them there. Brand voice and personality is just more so about sticking out in terms of people watching your content. It would grow the email list, but not having an organic strategy. Mantra Insta. His name's just Beats by Mantra. If I started free downloads with terms and conversions, I do a month, so I'm pretty sure. Sorry, I meant. I mean, to be honest, it's one of those things of like, just do it and see what happens. It could work, it couldn't work. That's like the best answer I can give you there, Jason. Because boy, if I knew the future, whoo, we go crazy. My dinosaur ass. With lead magnets and social work. Yeah, I mean, socials are pretty much the hardest part of all of this. But that's kind of the best part about it, in the sense of like, if you break through the noise, it really fucking helps. And it's also reassuring that like people just can't dethrone you, because it takes effort to become a content creator and get views on social media. Yeah. Yeah, definitely have to test. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and work on creating a calendar for January, February, April, and then I'll come back to the questions here. So basically, how we create a calendar is very simple. So right now in the chat, I'll put a link to this. I know Rutgers already posted this, but I'll put a link to this as well. And so what this calendar goes over for you guys is just major sales campaigns and dates. So let me share this tab so you can see it now. Like I said, in January, you're not going to see anything because there's no like seasonal stuff going on. So February, right? In February, you have a Valentine's Day sale. Now, when it comes to things like holidays, those days are pretty much set in stone. Of like, it's not going to make sense to have a Valentine's Day sale on the 21st or the 7th because Valentine's Day is on the 14th. It's like celebrating your birthday 2 months early. It doesn't make any sense. Like, that's not the day that happens. But then, like, when you have things like a spring sale, it's like a spring sale, like, technically, I believe the 21st is the first day of spring. Or let me double check that. When does spring start? Okay, it starts the 20th. So we're doing on the 21st. We do all of our sales on a Friday is when we start them. So, like, it's not going to make sense to do your spring. Like, the 7th is too early if it doesn't start till the 20th. So that's just kind of like an overview of like, you can change up some stuff if you want. It's up to you. But like when there's a holiday, like a summer sale, like you could put that a week later if you wanted to. It's not the end of the world. But like a July 4th sale, like you want to have it start on July 4th because like that's the day that July 4th is. And so basically these sales dates are what we use as kind of like the guiding first layer to the actual calendar creation. So if I bounce back over to this, what we do in Notion is we add a calendar view and then we just do a new calendar. So I'll just type in test calendar. And so we're going to do one for Q1. So it's going to be January, February, April. So I know in February on the 14th, I'm going to have a V-Day sale. And that's going to go from the 14th to the 16th. We'll probably do some sort of like flash sale offer for that. Cool. So that weekend is filled up already. And then let's see, April. Is there anything happening in April? So, or no, March. January, February, March. What the hell, dude? So we have that as a spring sale on the 21st to the 30th. So that's how we'll end Q1. So March 21st, we'll do spring sale. Okay. So now we have that stuff in there for those sales dates. So like, cool. Those are things that we're going to work around now pretty much to get this all set up. So does that make sense to everybody? What I just did? Let's just start there. Does that make sense to everybody? Like how I just did that, why I'm doing that? Because like those dates, those like sales campaigns, the sales campaigns are highly targeted into like the relevancy, the holiday stuff. And so I'm pretty sure you guys understand it, but just type a 1 if it all makes sense. Because I don't want to go like too deep and people are like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I have faith in you guys. I have faith. Recap. So yeah, so Jacob, essentially what we're doing is we're making a marketing calendar for January, February, and March of like, this is what's going to happen. And so where we start off is going to be our sales campaigns. So the sales campaigns are directly tied into holidays or like seasonal sales. So February 14th is Valentine's Day. It's a holiday, or I guess, I don't know if it's a holiday technically, but a lot of celebration. So on the weekend of the 14th, 15th, and 16th, we're going to have a V-Day sale. And then in March, spring starts March 20th. So from the 21st to the 30th, a Friday to a Sunday, we're going to have a site-wide spring sale. So those are just like the first things that we're going to set up. Like those are like non-negotiable dates. And then what we're going to do after that is we want to focus on new releases. So this is a bit different if you're selling beats or selling kits. If you're selling beats, you're probably going to have a lot more new releases going on. Versus if you're selling kits, you're probably going to have a little less. So let's just focus on this aspect of where each month we want to have one special weekend offer. So let's just say for this weekend on the 17th, if I'm selling beats, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get maybe 3 to 5 beats ready to upload on Friday with a weekend offer. Or if I was selling kits, I would do a new kit with a weekend offer. And so that would run for this weekend. Now, the thing that sucks about selling beats is you can't do a coupon code per beat. Or actually, no, on Soundy. On Soundy, you can. On Soundy, you can. On BeatStars, you can't. I believe. I think. So it's a bit tricky in that sense of technically if you make a coupon and say it only applies to these 5 beats on BeatStars, technically it doesn't apply to all of your beats. It's a marketing limitation that you have to work with. So with selling kits, it's a lot easier of where it's like, hey, like this kit for this weekend is going to be this much. Let me pull an example for you guys actually, because we just did it for hologram. Let me pull an example and I'll share my screen for selling kits because we just did it for hologram. So this will make more sense for you guys. Homepage special. Double check. All right. So this is the page that we had for hologram. It ended this morning, but it was essentially last Friday, the whatever day it was 3 days ago until this morning. And so you can see we have a banner that indicates there's a special offer going on of where when you buy this kit, you get 2 free bonus kits. There's a timer. And then we have a section of this is what you get. And then we have like a value stack of like, this is a special offer. This is what you get. This would cost you $110, but for this weekend only, you can get for $29.99. And so that's essentially what's going on in this calendar. So then what we're going to do is while we're doing that, let's move to next month then. So let's do it on the 21st again. So all I'll do is I'll just duplicate this on my calendar and then I'll drag it down here to where I can see it and I'll move it to right there and I'll do it again for the new kit. So now in January, this Friday, if we're selling beats, we'll do 3 to 5 beats with a special weekend offer. Or if we're selling kits, we'll do a new kit with a weekend offer. Next month, we have our Valentine's Day sale, and we have 3 to 5 beats with a weekend offer, new kit with a weekend offer. And then let's say we also want to do that next month again as well. It's one of our core pillars. So let's drag that over to the 14th. So we'll go a week before our spring sale. And then we'll do the same thing with a new kit with a weekend offer. We'll do the same exact thing once again there. So now we essentially hit up 2 main pillars for the first 3 months of the year. We did a seasonal sale or a flash sale. In January, like I said, there's nothing going on because we just did the Black Friday Christmas chaos. So we're kind of taking some cool down there. So there's not a seasonal flash sale going on here. But in February, we have Valentine's Day. And then in March, we have our spring sale. And then we focused on having some sort of weekend offer of where we're dropping a new kit with a weekend offer or 3 to 5 beats just got uploaded to the store with a weekend offer. And then we're going to do that once again in February. And then we're going to do that once again in March on those dates. Awesome. So does that make sense to everybody so far with setting up the seasonal sales and then trying to put together some sort of weekend promo for a new release of either a kit or a new release of like a handful of beats? We're trying to just get some hype, obviously get some sales, but we want to go ahead and, it's just something new. People love new stuff. And so you'd promote this on your email, you promote this on your socials. If you're someone who creates YouTube content, you'd preferably make a video on YouTube the day it goes out to also push people to the website page, right? We're trying to leverage any social media, any email marketing. If you're doing paid ads, right, we want to have some sort of way to get people to that page. Cool. Sweet. All right. So now I'll move over to our, let's do our repackaged offers last, just because that's for guys who are only selling kits. So what we want to do now every month is it should be pretty evident that growing your email list and having an email list plays a big role into all of this stuff. So what we want to do is we want to focus on a lead gen week. So this is where we usually want to go 1 to 2 weeks before a sales campaign. We want to focus on like a lead gen. And so obviously none of this stuff is set in stone, of where it's not like, oh, we did 2 lead gen periods this month at our sales campaign. It's all fucked up. The world's going to end. It's fine. Guys, it's fine. All right. Having something is better than nothing. And so like the calendar is here to help you. This is all here to help you, but it's not the Bible. It's okay. If something's a little weird or wonky, you'll be fine. So what I want to do is let's start in February and then we'll work back from that. This week, I want to do a lead gen week. So, right, we want to do a lead gen week because we want to grow our email list right before we run our Valentine's Day sale, because we're going to be sending emails to push our sale. And so what that looks like then is we need to have a free offer, and then we need to do some sort of way that we gain traffic to get people to sign up for our lead magnet offer. So a really good example that I can give for you guys is what people have done. And what we have done is right now we're doing a lead gen week to give people this calendar of the major sales dates. Guys do like community kits. You can give away a free beat. And it's just all about finding like fun little ways to tie it in. And that's really the main gist of this stuff. It could be some sort of, I don't know, PDF. It really depends on what you can create to give away. Is really the big thing there. It's kind of dependent on you. Like, yeah, you can give away free beats or free sounds, but maybe there's something else you can give away, or you can gain someone's email from with like exclusive content. And so what you want to do then is you want to post on your socials, whichever ones you're building up, to get people to go to a landing page to sign up for that. And so then we'll do the same exact thing. Let's do it on the 3rd to the 9th. So then we'd have lead gen week. And so once again, we'd probably do a new offer here, not the same thing. And then same concept. Whatever socials we have, YouTube, Instagram, paid ads, let's push really hard to get new leads and get people to sign up for that. And so let's hop back to January then. Let's say I want to double dip and I want to do another lead gen week here. Just because we didn't do a sales campaign this month, so let's do another lead gen. Because trust me, it's not going to hurt having more people on your email list. Cool. So now we have some stuff going on. Like our weeks are filling up here. So what we have then is we have our weekly campaigns. So we usually send these on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, just because most of the sales activity, if it's like a flash sale or some sort of weekend offer, it's happening on the weekend. So let's just say we're going to send weekly emails on Monday. Well, then I know that every Monday, as long as there's not a sales campaign or some sort of promo going on, I'm going to do a weekly email. And so then, okay, there's a weekly email during a lead gen week. Cool. I'll send an email to my email list to go sign up for my lead gen thing. Now you might be like, Ryan, that's kind of redundant. You're sending an email to get people to join your email list. Yes, it is redundant, but remember, the thing you're creating for your lead gen item, your free thing you're giving away, it should be of value. So what that means is if you're sending someone who's already on your email list to go sign up for your email list, I get it. It might seem redundant, but if it's helpful and of value, they're going to want it and they're going to like it. They're going to like you for giving them that. They're not going to be upset that you gave them something they find valuable. So like, yes, it's not going to grow your email list when you send something to your email list about joining your email list, but it's going to provide an extra sense of value if it's a good thing. And then we'll just copy this over. We'll just duplicate this over. I'll do it on the 27th. And then we'll just keep on going. So now it's like we have this activity going on every week now. And then since we had a V-Day sale, we're going to have emails Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for that. Let's push our weekly email back to Wednesday, just so there's 2 days of like a cool down period there. You could send an email Monday if you want, but I would just rather give some cool down. It's not the end of the world. If you send it on Tuesday, you could do that too. It's not the end of the world. Hell, you could skip this email, right? If you want to. It's really not the end of the world in that case. And so then we just pick it back up of, okay, we just did a weekend offer, so let's cool down again for another 2 days. All right. And then we'll go right back to our Monday. We'll go right back to our Monday. And then for this weekly email, I'd probably do a Wednesday email because we just did a weekend offer. And then let's go ahead and make this like a tease email before we do our sales campaign. So you guys can see we kind of went from a blank calendar, but just by, doing those 3 pillars, we now have a calendar filling up in terms of marketing activity. So where are we? Are we all making sense here? Are we still on the same chapter of the same book? Or are people like, what the fuck are you doing? Just want to make sure you guys are understanding what's going on, because if you understand this, it's going to be really, really fucking helpful. So put a 1 in the chat if it's making sense, and ask a question if you have a question. Thank you. Thank you for pushing the ones. Yeah, if you have a question, now is a great time. We can clear that up and go from there. All right, cool. Seeing some people type, so I'll give you guys some time. I'm going to rewatch as well. That's true. You can rewatch it. I'll make sure to drop this in here as well that you guys can go for. And yeah, if you rewatch it and you have questions, you can always post in the community as well. So it seems like we're all squared away there. So let's go ahead then and get more and more into this. Let me put this full width just so it's a bit easier. So now the next thing I would do is focus on our repackaged offers. So this is for our guys who are selling kits. So on the 31st, I would do a repackaged offer. And so like I said, we're trying to do this once per month. Okay. And then we're going to have emails all 3 of those days. So I'm actually going to switch that to then be on Wednesday, just to kind of give some cool down. All right. Let's see. I'll probably do another repackaged offer here for those. And then just like that, the calendar is pretty much full. Just trying to find the best way to show this off. So now you have a shit ton of activity going on. And so, like I said, during this calendar isn't showing off, but what we would have here is we'd have an email on the 17th, 18th, and 19th. So let's just do our new kit with a weekend offer. Actually, the 18th we would probably skip. We'd probably do the 17th and the 19th. So let's say, I'll just give you guys the hologram example back for this offer we did for hologram and how that worked, just so we're making sure. So on the 17th, we'd have, hey, there's a new kit that just released, and until Monday morning, you can grab it with these bonuses. I'd explain the bonuses, go to the page, listen to the previews in the email. And then on the 19th, anybody who purchased would be excluded, but we send an email to the list again of like, hey, if you missed it, on Friday, we dropped a new kit, and until tomorrow morning, you can grab this kit for a discounted price, as well as 2 extra bonuses. So on the 17th and 19th, we would have emails. And then it's up to Hologram, aka the client. In this case, it's up to you to also make sure that you're posting on socials to try and get people to go to the page and see that offer. And so then we'd have our lead gen week. So on Monday, we would send out an email of like, hey, we put together this free item, go check it out. And then we probably do some more, social posts in terms of Instagram stories. Probably aim for a story at least 3 to 5 times that week, maybe 2 to 3 posts, maybe a YouTube video if you post on YouTube, right? We want to try to get as many people to that page and sign up for that free thing as we can. And so then let's transition over to our repackaged offer. We would do the same exact thing of where on Monday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'd have an email each day. So like if I did the concept of Kavi's 2024 favorites for a weekend offer, on Friday, it would just be like how it came about. Like, hey, this really wasn't planned. Or like we were just kind of randomly going through the store, working on, here it is. That's probably a really good example, actually, of like, we have a new production suite upcoming. And so for every production suite, we give bonuses. And so we were going through our kits. Like we wanted to give us bonuses. And so we picked out the bonuses, but we also really enjoyed these 3 kits. So these 3 kits aren't going to be part of the bonus, but they are part of a special weekend offer where you can get these 3 kits, total value 110 for 80% off, whatever the price would be, whatever the price you would say. Cool. Then on Saturday, we would send like a follow-up email of like, hey, if you didn't see this, we went through and picked our 2024 favorites. And then we probably try and find like a more unique way of like what the main benefits of these kits are. And then on Sunday, it would be more of a final call email of it's like, hey, this offer is about to end. Here's what the offer is. This ends tomorrow morning. Go and get it while you can. And then it's pretty much, you hop back into your lead gen week. Okay, we're going to have an email to give people value on our email list, even though, like I said, they're already on your email list. But if you give them a free thing, they're not going to be mad at you. And then you're going to put your social posts out there, your story posts, your YouTube videos. If you post them, the main goal is just go balls to the wall pretty much to try and get as many new people as you can on your email list. There's really no overdoing that in that case. And then, hey, a V-Day sale. Okay, it's a flash sale offer. So we're going to make some adjustments to the website to put like a sales banner on there, make it very clear there's a sale going on. We're going to send out emails 14th, 15th, and the 16th. And so once you understand pretty much these 4 or 5 things, you're just then like respinning them up every single month. And like I said, it's up to you too of like, this isn't the Bible. Like you don't need to follow this exactly how it is. It's more so just to provide structure to make sure there's activity going on. Like you can do something completely different if you want. It's up to you. It's just, this is the operations that we do to where we can manage all these people and have this consistent action to make sure there's people going back to the website. And we're either getting new people onto the email list or we're getting people to make a purchase, make a returning purchase. And like I said, in terms of selling kits, because that's a Shopify website setup, we have automations based on the actions someone takes. So if we do a repackaged offer email, or here's a better one. Let's say we do a weekly email on the 5th and you pick out essentially some sort of offer or promo. And so February 5th, let's say that it's the 1-year anniversary of your sale or of your store. My apologies. Of your store. 1 year of anniversary. What the fuck? 1 year anniversary. Christ, of your store. All right. So, I mean, for this, you'd probably want to run a sale for this. This is actually bad. Let me redo that. February 5th. See, right now you guys are seeing like the raw stuff that happens. Let's say that February 5th. Usually I like to do like timely stuff or relevant stuff. But let's just say you have a Discord channel and this is what we did for Kavi, so I'm just going to redo it. So drums sucked. Okay, that sounds mean. Let me explain this. So Kavi hit me up one day and he was like, hey, I have an angle for an email. He was like, in my Discord, a lot of people are usually really good with like the loops and the samples, but the drums usually suck. So I made this kit for that. Like I noticed that was a big struggle. So I made a kit to get people better drums. And so we launched it. It did well. And so I would just repurpose the story. And I'm not going to push a sale or anything on it. Like this is a previously released product. We're just getting people back to the previously released product. And so the thing about this is like now we have a product that has a bit of a story to it. And so that's going to give us a better CTR probably because there's better interest here. It's not like, hey, this is a drum kit we dropped a month ago. Have you seen it? It's like, no, it's like there's a story to it of like, hey, last month, we get over hundreds of beat submissions and the drums are always lacking. So we dropped a new drum kit. Here's the main benefit of the drum kit. Here's what makes it unique. So if you kind of feel like maybe your drums are stale or your drums are always just missing a little bit of that edge, go check out this kit. Not pushing a sale or anything. And so then what happens is you get people going back to the website. So if they look at the product and they don't add it to cart, there's an automation that's going to fire to push them back to the product. If they look at the product and they add to the cart, but they don't buy it, they're then going to trigger an automation for the abandoned cart. And if they buy it, they're going to trigger a post-purchase automation. So you're just creating like the whole cycle of engagement and your email. And like I said, the whole flywheel aspect of it, of like, there's always something happening in the next step, but it's like someone has to go to the website first in order for that to trigger. And same thing, like if you do an Instagram post or an Instagram story or a YouTube post, and like you then have somebody go to the website and they already have opted in before because you've done a lead gen thing 2 months ago, they joined in. The Klaviyo email provider, whatever one you're using for selling sample kits, we do Klaviyo. It can track that person's activity because it recognizes the email based on like the Klaviyo pixel on your website. And so your YouTube video you posted could get you a sale because that email signed up 2 months ago and it triggered an abandoned cart flow because from your video, they went to that product, added to cart, but didn't buy. I hope I'm still making sense here. But it's just like, it's a lot of the shit that you can't track on a micro level. But when you look at it big picture, it's really what drives a good amount of the results in terms of the consistent actions lead to consistent results. I feel like I'm kind of talking in a circle here, but I just kind of want to drive it home of like what this actually looks like and like a real life application of what can possibly happen. Whew. Okay. So that covers pretty much everything that I wanted to get through today. So now I'll let you guys ask your questions in the chat.